Welcome to a special episode of the G5 Hive. And boy, do we have something exciting for you all today. We have a very special guest joining us at Black Hawk High School. He was named the conference's Offensive Player of the Year as a running back. As a senior, he was named a first team all conference as a linebacker. He was ranked the 31st player in the state of Pennsylvania by 24/7 Sports. As a freshman, he played in 10 games, mostly on special teams. He had 6 tackles on the season. In 2021, he was a starter, but tore his ACL in game 1 and missed most of the season. In 2022, he was a second team all Sun Belt selection from the league and Phil Steele. That year, he finished third in the conference in tackles with 114. In 2023, he's an honorable mention All-American from Phil Steele, all Sun Belt first team, both conference and Phil Steele, and he started all 13 games where he led the team with 122 tackles. In 2024, he was named to the preseason All Sun Belt first team defense, both by the conference and Phil Steele. The boys from GATA Talk declared him the leader for the team for the Eagles here in 2024. He's also named a captain. He is 5'11", 225 pounds. He is from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He wears number 1 for the Georgia Southern Eagles. He is Marques Watson-Trent. Welcome to the show, Marques.
Man, I love that intro. I appreciate you. Thank you guys for having me.
We appreciate you. Who introduced you to the game of football? How'd you get started playing football?
I would say my father definitely introduced me to football. I've been a fan. My mom used to say, you joke around with me, like the first toy I ever had was a football, and I never let it go. So, from birth, I kind of always loved football, watched a lot of my family members played, and I started at, I think, like 5 years old, I started playing. So ever since then. But my father definitely, got me on football.
Did you play any other sports growing up?
Yeah, I played a little bit of baseball, a little bit of basketball. I actually ran track in high school. So did a little bit of everything, tried everything. And, everything really didn't stick, but football kind of was more of my cup of tea. I liked to hit people, so it kind of fit well in.
I wish I could have seen you play some running back, man, right? Because I'm assuming like you're like Derrick Henry, right? Trying to run him over and knock through him.
Yeah, I was trying to do it all.
What was the college recruiting experience like for you?
Yeah, okay. So I was out of high school. I was blessed to end with 26 Division I offers. I would say my recruiting process was kind of like just like everybody else's, is really up and down. There were so many high moments, so many moments where I was like, man, am I going? You know what I mean? Like the school I really wanted to go to was Pitt, and they never ended up offering me. So I really got the Georgia Southern offer was kind of like my last offer that I got my senior year, and this was after this was in December, so after the season and everything. But it was definitely a journey. I was a lot of learning. I was kind of like the first one in my family to kind of get this kind of attention, and so we learned through it. It was a process, but I enjoyed every second of it, and thank God I chose Georgia Southern because this place been a very special place to me.
What advice would you give an aspiring high school player about the recruiting process?
I would say focus on the main thing, and that's football. I feel like a lot of times when you're going through this recruiting process, that becomes the biggest thing, and then that's your mindset through every week. But I would say really enjoy football for what it's worth, because as the years progress and you get more and more into it, deeper into it, it's a lot of politics that plays into it. There's a lot of outside media things that go in my 4-star, 3-star. You can't really let that affect you. I would say just keep the main thing. Keep working. Enjoy the time with your teammates and build connections, and really just play for your team, play for one another. Don't make it just about you.
So you talked about it a little bit a second ago, but what ultimately led you to choose Georgia Southern to continue your football career and your education?
Yeah, so when I got the offer in December, that's kind of was my first time ever hearing about it, being from where I'm from, Pittsburgh. You really don't hear about the Sun Belt and those down south teams, but once I started to learn about it, I learned about the history, AP, Tracy Ham, what they did in their years, and just the 2014 team when they made that transition to the Sun Belt, and really seeing them compete. It really kind of made my interest more. And then when I went on a visit, man, it was a special thing. I really got to feel what a lot of people talk about in that blue collar mentality, and a lot of stuff kind of aligned how I was raised, and it was just a match made in heaven.
So last season, you switched your number from 33 to number 1. Was there any significance to that change?
I would say that's number one here is for that guy, the leader, the one who's everyone's supposed to look at and really be that motivator for the team. And I feel like the coaches kind of motivated me to be that guy, and I wanted to declare to the fan base and everybody else that hey, I'm gonna be that guy for us, and I take that I hold that just like I hold the C on my chest. I hold it with pride, and it's an honor to be someone that's a leader of this team and leader of Georgia Southern.
So, if you could pick two linebackers to train with, learn from, watch film with, etc., who would you pick and why?
Oof. I would say number one, Ray Lewis. Just obviously what he did. He's a legend, probably the all-time great at linebacker. Just hearing the little things from him, just how he approached the game, his process, his off-season training, and a guy who's really doing it at a really high level now is taking over is Fred Warner, and I just love his approach. It's like how his technique is flawless, and I just love everything about his game. So those two people, I would say, I would definitely love to hear about and just talk about. If I could add a couple guys, I like Nick Bolton and Quincy Williams as well. Those 5'11" guys, kind of fit similar size. I watch a lot of them too.
So when you're watching film or watching tape on other linebackers, what things are you paying attention to?
Just their footwork, their hand placement, what they're seeing, kind of like their instincts. Like, are they shooting gaps? Are they going over, playing more deep, and being more patient with their feet, their initial steps, tackling. I look at a lot of detailed things. Like people don't really understand like how much it goes into what it takes to be a linebacker and a really good one. And it's really the small details from the first step of the play. Your eyes, you got to have really good eyes. You got to diagnose plays before they happen. Also, I also like to see if guys are communicating, like even pre-snap, post-snap things. Just I try to get everything from it, and it takes me a while to get through some film because every time I'm at one clip, I'm starting it over. So I just really like to get to the details.
When you're watching the offense, do you pay more attention to certain players on the offense, or you try to watch the line, the quarterback, or who you paying the most attention to?
I like to get a broad sense of what the offense does. If they're a gap scheme, zone scheme, outside zone, inside zone, kind of some of the basic pass routes they do, concepts and stuff like that. If I do watch a player, it'll most likely be like the guard, the two guards, the tight ends, and the running backs. Just because that's mostly what I'm playing with, being an inside backer. You got to guard the tight ends and the running backs, and you gotta fight off blocks from the guards and the center. So those are the three positions that I watch the most.
Oftentimes when we talk to offensive players, they'll tell us sometimes like hey, we've been watching film on a certain player that there'll be a tell. Like there was a tight end we interviewed, and he was saying like every time this defensive end did a certain thing, like he knew he was going to blitz. As a defensive player, have you ever seen like tells from the offense like, hey, every time this guy does this, this is what he's going to do?
Yeah, for 100%. I think if that's what it takes to be a kind of a good defensive player, not even just a linebacker, understanding what the offense is doing and any tips and tricks from out the game where you can get your edge. If it's a tackles, the way he's on his toes, or if he's what I mean, he's on his
Yeah.
knuckles, just different things, little things like that. The running back, wide receivers, are they playing with their hands before, what I mean, just to tell to see if they're getting the ball before or they're blocking, what I mean? Or this body language. You can always tell in body language, like their stance change. Are they up right now? Are they down a little lower because they know they're blocking and they're not getting the ball? Quarterbacks, how their snap cadence is. So when you're blitzing, you can kind of get a jump on the snap. I think there's a lot. That's just the beauty of the game of football. A lot of people don't understand, but I think that's the part I really like about it.
Marquise, what do you feel is your main strength as a linebacker?
I would say my versatility. I believe I am a smaller back, but I understand a lot about the run game, a lot about passing, and getting in passing lanes in my zones, drops. I believe I can be a really good blitzer and effective on passing downs. I feel like I can play. Throughout my career, I've been blessed enough, and shown trust enough from my coaches to play all three downs. So I feel like my versatility, and I'm able to play Mike or Will or Buck, all three linebacker positions here. So just understanding the game at a high level and being able to form.
What area of your game did you work on the most this offseason?
100% my speed and my body. I wanted to change my body a little bit, add more muscle, cut some of my fat so I can be more explosive faster. I can get off blocks faster. I can get to the ball a little quicker and get in and out of my breaks. I think that was the biggest thing that I wanted to work on in this offseason.
What are your goals for the 2024 season and moving forward? They can both be like you personal and team goals.
My main focus is winning a Sun Belt championship and really giving this this community, this team, what it deserves. And I've been here for 5 years now, and I've seen a lot of losing, I've seen a lot of potential, and I just really want everything to come to fruition. So that's my main goal this year, is putting everything in this team to win a Sun Belt championship.
As we mentioned in the intro, Matt and Cody from GATA Talk told us that you were the leader of the team, and as we know, the number one and the captain. But we wanted to give you the opportunity to kind of shout out some of your teammates. Who are some of the guys that you think folks really need to know about this Eagles team going into the 2024 season?
I'll give some offense and defensively. Starting with the defense, I would say the person that's playing next to me this year, the two people are MJ Stroud and Davon Gilmore. Those two guys, man, seeing the work they put in, they didn't get a lot of playing time last year, but this year they'll be a big part of our defense. I'll say Tracy Hill. He's a corner that I really like and appreciate, man. The way he worked. I've seen even from when he was a walk-on and really earning his spot, he earned everything that he got. So really excited about him. I feel like he has a great future. TJ Smith is a guy that a lot of people knew from last year that this year he'll even have a more impact. On the offensive side, Jalen White, we came in together. A lot of people know his name. Just want to shout him out. Me and him worked countless hours together, competed all our years here, and it's kind of cool to starting to see the awards and the appreciation we're getting. So really want to shout him out. Derwin Burgess is another guy who works hard, really good, really talented, really got a bright future in him, and he's going to have a tremendous year this year as well. And our quarterback, J.C. Prince, like just the quarterback battle going into anything, you can't be scared of competition. And, in this day and age with the transfer portal, there's a lot of people that, ducking a lot of smoke or, moving teams because they don't want to compete. JC stayed solid. He understood what was coming in, understood he was in a battle for a position, and he won that battle. And I'm excited for what he's going to do this year.
Yeah, I think he shocked a lot of people Saturday. I don't think people quite expected that performance, man. He played really well.
Yeah, he did. I'm excited to get back out there and make sure the defense do what we need to do so we can start winning some games. But I'm excited about this offense, and I'm excited about this team.
If someone has not seen you play, what's one game that you would recommend for someone to watch? Could be college, high school, whatever you think.
From past games or like games coming up? Just past games?
Past games.
Yeah.
I would say one of my favorite games I played was last year's Old Dominion. I felt like that game, I felt healthy, the healthiest I felt in a while, and I got to compete at a high level. ULM, I felt like I had a really good game last year. Also, my bowl game in my 2022 season against Buffalo in the Camellia Bowl, I felt like I had a really good game then.
If you could replay a game, which game would you replay and why would you replay it?
I would say this past week against Boise State. It was a tough game, tough loss. I felt like there's a lot of things that I could have did better as a player, as a leader, to help this team win. I take a lot of accountability just because I have so much pride and so much passion about this team and where we can be. I would definitely say this last game.
What opposing offensive player was the toughest for you to go against and why?
That's a good question. I played a lot of good players. I would say actually last week, Genty. Ashton Genty, he's a really good football player, and
Yes.
he deserved all the hype that he was getting. I played in 2022. UAB had a running back. I forget his name. He was a really good running back. He had a lot of yards that season. Them two guys are really good, I believe.
Dwayne McBride?
Dwayne McBride, yeah, he was a really good guy.
Yeah, we interviewed Trey Taylor and Bo Richter, and they both played for Air Force. We interviewed them back in January, and they both said Ashton Jeanty as well. They said the thing that impressed them the most though was his receiving ability. Like they
Yeah,
didn't expect him to be, as good a receiver as he was.
yeah. No, he's a really good backer. He's gonna have a bright future as well.
Is there a particular routine that you have on game day, or a song or artist that you like to listen to before games?
I kind of have. I don't really listen to too much music. Just kind of throughout the day, I'm just making sure my teammates is good. For me, I'm just doing normal stuff, stretching, going over my plays a little bit, making sure I'm hydrated, and just try to remind myself that this is a game that you play when you was a kid. You don't want to make the game too big, or you don't want to minimize the game. So you can kind of balance myself, my mindset going into it, and really just go over my keys, and I just usually be ready by the time we get out there.
Marquise, what hobbies do you have outside of football?
I'm real big into my faith. I'm a part of a group called AIA here. We do a little Bible study on Thursdays now. It used to be on Tuesdays, but I'm real big on my faith, and that's something that I believe is the major part of my success and the things that I've been able to accomplish in my life is because my foundation was on Him. So I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Jesus Christ.
Are you playing the new EA Sports College football video game yet?
I played it. I haven't got a chance. I haven't got a chance to really get into it because of the season and everything. But I definitely had a chance to play it.
You an Xbox guy or a PlayStation guy?
PlayStation guy. I don't have one right now, but if I had one, I would have a PlayStation for sure.
Do you think they did you justice on your rating in the game?
I didn't feel like it was terrible. But yeah, it could always be higher. There's always something that you feel. But I didn't feel like it was terrible. I was cool with an 82.
What is your favorite meal?
Favorite meal? That's hard. I'm a big food guy, so like I like trying different things. So it's hard for me to pick one. But if I would have to pick one, it would probably be shrimp Alfredo.
Shrimp Alfredo. Is there a favorite spot that you have around campus?
We have Bull in a Barrel. That's really good, and I get a Cajun ribeye up there, and man, it's probably the best steak I ever had.
All right, now we got a shout out. Now we'll have to clip it, and we'll get an NIL. Let's get it
Yeah,
up. Let's get it
let's
up.
get that working in now. Bull in the Barrel, man. Hear me out, man. Sponsor me.
All the Cajun ribeyes you can eat. um, if you could sit down and have a conversation with any three people of your choosing, dead or alive, who would you choose and why?
Oh, that's a tough conversation. Um, Dead or alive. I would say I would definitely have my father in there. One, just because of all the knowledge and wisdom that he has. Um, hmm, who else? Bill Nye. I'll have Bill Nye in there. I'm a big Bill Nye fan. I'll have him in there. He'll make it interesting. And Kanye West. I think I think those three would be a great conversation.
Have you got a chance to see Kanye West's new car that he made?
Was it the Cybertruck one or was it something
It
different?
was just some little car. I don't know. There's only like 3 or 5 made. I just saw it this last earlier in the
Nah,
week. If
I
you
haven't.
don't,
You
go
gotta
go
send me
check it
that.
out.
Yeah, you gotta
Okay.
send me that.
If you had to tell an aspiring high school player what the hardest part of playing college football is, what would it be and why?
Um, I would say that mm, I would say the time and the effort that it takes to truly be a Division I football player. And I feel like you don't. It's not a like it thing. You have to truly love this sport to be able to be successful in it because you're going to be asked to do a lot of things that you're not comfortable with and you truly don't want to do, and you're going to have to thrive in that space. If that's being in meetings for hours or waking up early for a workout or doing 25 100 100. So you gotta be real disciplined and you gotta love this game. You gotta truly love the game.
So recently, I saw a video on X where you were shouting out "Happy Birthday" to Danny Reed, the voice of the Georgia Southern Athletic. And so, first off, happy belated birthday to Danny. But in that video, you absolutely destroy him. Like you basically spear him at a tailgate.
Yeah.
So the first question I have is: did Danny have to go to visit a chiropractor after that hit?
Yeah, it was a tough hit, man. I felt really bad about it. I felt really bad about it. He's a warrior though. He took that like a man.
So Donald, tell us a little bit about that video. What was it for? And like, did you guys have anything soft to land on after you hit the ground, or did you just hit the ground?
Yeah, so we definitely had something soft to land on. I couldn't just tackle him to the ground. I think that would have hurt a lot more. Actually, it was a blessing. I'm a part of the Eagle Collective, NIL Collective here at Georgia Southern, and they've blessed me with a lot of opportunities. And this opportunity was from Schumann Farms. Shout out them as well. Got to work with him and Adam Brady to kind of do that deal and kind of shoot that cool little video. And Danny Reed kind of volunteered for it, and that's my guy. I've throughout the years, our relationship has grown. Being able to be on certain interviews with him, kind of built our relationship. But this past little video, I think we became tighter after that. For sure.
All right, let's get you out on a fun one. Coach Helton comes in and says, "No need for pads today, boys. Grab your running shoes. We're doing laps." Which position group does your mind immediately go to?
The O-line.
The O-line.
The O-line. I don't know if they're going to survive that one.
So why are you running? Which position group messed up?
Oh, what position group messed up? That's tough. Probably gonna have to say D-line. My D-line is some knuckleheads, man. They probably did something that we got to run.
That's a different answer. I'd say 90% of the time the answer we get is defensive back. So yeah, it's good to hear.
Our DBs are good guys. They're more of the the smart guys now. They're disciplined. They got the iPads and everything right, and their notes super neat. Our D-line are more of the grimy ones. Kind of get it out the mud guys. Real competitive and everything.
Well, Marques, we just want to thank you for taking some time out of your day to spend with us. We greatly appreciate it, and we wish you and the Eagles good luck going forward. I wish you luck in every game except when you play Old Dominion. I'm an Old Dominion alumni, so maybe I'll get a chance to come down to the field to say hi to you when you guys visit Norfolk.
No doubt. Appreciate you guys again.
All right. If you are watching us on YouTube, please hit that like and subscribe button. And if you're listening to us in podcast form, please rate and review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts. Thank you all for your support. And until the next time, we are the G5 Hive.
Yeah.